Maybe a couple of times in the tune somewhere. And it'd be more like it's so finished. Yeah. Well, it's kind of changed a little bit. It's a G, so it's G. It's waltz, like a waltz time. I don't know.
Music to me is a source of happiness, but also a source of heartache.
Imagine a day where you didn't hear any music, and how empty it would feel.
It's what sort of brings joy to life.
Music to me is escape. Escape from oftentimes reality, escape from real life, escape from my thoughts. Yeah, music's very good.
I mean, there's always music going around in my head in a way. There's always, like, even just walking, there's a beat to things. And like, I find personally, when I'm on my own, there's never too much silence. There's always something going on, even if I'm just sort of tapping along or pretending to beatbox or something like that, to just the beat that's going around. And
that's better. Okay, so no fuss. No, don't stop.
I refer to music as a time machine because it literally can sort of pick you up and take you back 20, 30, 40 years. And it's not just what you can hear, you can sense the things around you. You know, I lived in different countries for some time where it's a lot warmer, and there's certain songs that come on and I immediately feel warmer because of that, and the smells and the sensations and things. And it can absolutely take all of that. So you take you straight back to all of that.
I think all human beings are musical. We are made of musical elements. Anything from heartbeat, tone of voice, how we pick up social cues. You can analyze pretty much like human communications and human interactions, like in almost like all musical elements. And that's why when people say I'm not musical, but everybody can respond, and everybody has a meaningful or favorite music.
I think I'd see music as a different language other than to just English, because we actually get to say and speak things that might not be able to be spoken in a normal conversation, or even just at the pub or whatever. You can actually say it in a different way with a song.
it's communicating in a way. It's like talking, but on this other level. And like I remember hearing this quote one time. I'm going to get it technically wrong, but it was something like, if Beethoven could have put what he wanted to have said into words, he would have. And it's like, oh, okay, because it's having it in music adds something to it that was inexpressible. Because if you think language is this kind of reduces our thoughts, music might be a bit more of a direct communication. You know, you don't have to structure it into language.
I mean, singing is everywhere, really. Yeah, always sort of felt a pull towards it.
It's fundamental. It's a thing we all do and have done for thousands of years.
It's listening to fundamental beats and sounds and melodies. It relates to dancing, and I think beyond literacy, this is what we humans are made to do on a social level. It taps into a part of our brain. It can be achieved through a few other ways, having that sense of community, but I feel like it's probably the best way to do it, because we all like music in one shape or form.
You can sing about, and people do sing about love, but then you can sing about love in so many different colours, and that can only really be expressed by the colours of music, as opposed to just saying it, you know.
I think art in general is the thing that connects us all. You know, it's how we process our feelings, when a lot of us can't really talk about our feelings very well. So we make art, we do a drawing, we write it down, we write a song, we pick up our guitar and play it, we go and kick a football. Whatever it is, it takes us away from mundanity of real life.
Music is all part of us, and every single of us have got ability to respond to music, and often I think the music and our sense of identity, who we are as a person, is often quite closely linked. So like, typically when you're in school, you choose your friends naturally, but often you share the similar taste of music, or you get on with your mates who share the similar taste of music, and something that's naturally drawn to, or you learn to like certain music, and that's really natural part of us.
It's beautiful to play on your own because you're in your own world. You can create this whole, you can create this place where you play. Your head's there. You're singing your songs from your own heart that most of the time you've written, or singing a song that means everything to you. You can sing it. Playing with other people is totally different, but equally as rewarding and beautiful, because you can often make connections with people that you wouldn't if you were just playing on your own. So you look over and everybody's having a great time, but more than that, you can connect to people like telepathically. Really weird things happen when you play with other people if you let it, and you can do crazy stuff.
You see people singing, and it's like a very vulnerable thing, of course, because you can almost peer into them, because if they're singing from the heart, that is, you get a look inside them in a way, and that's kind of, I suppose, voyeurism in a way, but it's also really relatable, because I'm sure many people might hear like a beautiful ballad and think, I was just thinking that as well myself, and yeah, it sort of gets this sort of sense of like, now someone said it, I'm glad someone has said it, because it's made it real. And like, if you've got these sorts of thoughts and feelings, and you're not sure if they're like worthy thoughts or feelings, are they valid, are they like, should I be feeling that? But then someone sings about exactly what you're feeling. It's it's confirmation, and it's really probably quite comforting.
I found music is a very good outlet to explore emotions, and I'd say particularly live a more insular internal world. I liked a broad range of music when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, something like from metal bands to rock bands to solo artists to even Katy Perry. I don't know why I had a Katy Perry phase. I did. I don't know. Her earlier work is incredible, really, if I had the time. I don't like it now for some reason, but it's just funny, isn't it? I think it's what we explore and have a music relation to, particularly when we're growing up, as more insecure teenagers. So I found myself listening to a vastly diverse, eccentric amount of music, really, something you wouldn't imagine younger kids are like.
Sparkling ocean night, sparkling ocean, the ocean inside. See the edge of a demon that hides, hard to feel the light. Strange, soft, delicate light, soft, delicate light.
I would say from sort of most of my adult life, there's been a certain amount of mental health difficulty, sometimes depression. It dates a lot back to, I got quite ill when I was late teens. I had glandular fever for quite some time, and I was very, very ill. and it took a toll mentally, and I don't think I ever quite sort of fully came out of that because the physical effects still kind of are with me today. General things from life. In my 30s, I lost somebody very close to me in a car accident, a partner of mine. And yeah, mental health is, I think you speak to anybody these days, nothing's straightforward. You know, mental health is an issue that affects everybody, or maybe not an issue, but something that people care about a lot more and people want to put a lot more into. So my aim through this is, because I've got the musical background, hopefully the musical skill and talent to do it, put people together, make it a social environment, get them enjoying what they're doing, make it as simple as possible for people to get involved. So literally someone could come having never played an instrument, and within 5 minutes I'll have them playing in a band format, which is a quick and easy kind of gain for people who perhaps weren't ever expecting to be in that situation.
I think it's still quite a lot stigma attached to mental health, isn't there? Kind of stereotypical images of like mentally ill patients, and somehow I think we have to be better at actually normalizing living with mental health conditions or mental health challenges. I think it's quite normal. Most of us have bad days and good days and whatever, and we kind of manage okay in most cases, and sometimes we don't, but that's okay. But what we can do to help ourselves is, seek help, seek support.
I think mental health is a real important topic today, and it's that I read articles that it's bigger than ever in the history, and I wouldn't be surprised because, you know, a lot of people are feeling lonely these days, whether that's at fault of phones or at fault of anything in particular, but it's this sort of isolating feeling of you get trapped in your own world. And I think these days it's very easy to get trapped in your own world. You know, you can get comfortable in your bed and you've got the whole world in your phone, and so you get this almost illusion that you're connected and participating, but you're kind of disconnected in that sense because you're missing that kind of real connection.
So take it easy, mama. Mama, don't you cry. Just take it easy, mama. Things will be alright. Just take it easy, mama. Mama, don't you cry. Just take it easy, mama. I'll be by your side.
Thank you very much.
Every difficult situation or circumstance in my life has been helped greatly by music. I remember I was living in Liverpool, and I was in a relationship that wasn't very good, and I used to listen to this one particular album by a guy called Townes Van Zandt, and it was called Our Mother the Mountain, and I listened to it every day for probably 6 months, and I used to listen to it every day on the way to work. I'd walk to work up the Mersey, and yeah, that's an example of how music can get you through anything really, because I just used to listen to that, and I think he feels exactly the same as I feel now, and I took all my you know, everything that I needed, I got from him, because I couldn't talk about it to anybody else. So I got his words, made me feel better about it eventually. I write songs, and you know, sometimes I'll feel bad, you know, I'll have a bad day, and I'll just write what I'm feeling, and you know, eventually it's probably going to get chucked in the recycling bin, but you've written it down, and you put it away in a book, and that puts that little feeling away for a little while, and hopefully, I think that's my only idea. I think that's how music could help people.
Just shine on through.
used to be very shy, painfully shy and quiet, and yeah, I come from a fairly traumatic background, so yeah, it's really helped me to come out of my shell and to figure out who I am. It's almost as if I get to be a different person, so it really like takes me away from, you know, like corners of your mind that sometimes you might not want to be in. And yeah, it's like that alter ego sometimes as well. I feel I'm much more confident singing and on stage, and yeah, it's just gives you that sort of, yeah, front to just be who you want to be.
A few people who have really benefited from music from a physical health and a mental health perspective. So dealing with the physical side first, I know a very an elderly gentleman who started learning to play an instrument when he was about 80, and the fact that he's doing something with his fingers is actually keeping him going physically and cognitively, mentally. And I know another lady who learned to play the saxophone, and she suffers from asthma, but from playing the instrument, then that's really helped her, and she doesn't have those problems anymore. So there's the physical side, but I also know people who have very openly told me before rehearsals that they've struggled with their mental health to the extent that one person was considering taking her own life, and another person had been struggling with a miscarriage, if I remember correctly. So these are real issues that people face, and real journeys and difficulties that people have to navigate in their own lives, but they show up to rehearsals because they get their energy from the people around them, and they and that gives them their sense of purpose, like we were saying earlier. So two angles there of real life experiences I know where music has really helped people.
My dad actually passed away at this weekend, and he basically, I wouldn't be playing music if it wasn't for his and my mum's influence when I was a child. They both played instruments, sang, my mum's side, but we were very kind of, me and my brother were very much in that kind of environment from a very young age. And I think it's just stayed there with us both.
I've kind of learned or had this feeling that, you know, if I'm listening to sad songs, it's going to keep me sad. And then if you force yourself to listen to something overly positive, it might just make you feel better. Not always the case, of course, but I have found that it does reflect in that sense. Like, I do like looking back at some old playlists that I would have made in different times, and listening to that, you can sort of reflect on how that was feeling, and you can sort of see this transition, which is quite nice.
I think if it's in a song, it's almost easier to talk about, because you're not really talking about it. It's music then, and so it gives you the space to be able to deal with some hardships. It's as if it's unspoken, like you're allowed to say it in songs, you're allowed to kind of, you know, and it's stuff that it's pouring your heart out without it being weird, if that makes sense.
It's quite a direct way to express something, like even just something as simple as playing like a minor chord when you're feeling sad, or a major chord when you're feeling happy. It's so instant and quite palpable just immediately.
You're getting tones and harmonies and melodies and dominant chords and minor chords and major chords that can speak a different language. know, I realise that sounds like all mystical and stuff, but honestly, I think it does speak to us on that level. That's why a certain song makes you sad, or a certain song makes you happy.
Infinitely expressive. You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. There are no boundaries. There are no rules. There is only the only boundaries that you have are the ones that you put on yourself. So go out and make whatever music you feel like.
If you feel that low that you just feel you can't do anything, find your favourite songs, listen to them. If you play an instrument, pick it up and play it. Those things are just good for stimulating the mind.